Howdy partners, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time, and that's not my usual kind of video. It's just that I'm often, making sim racing videos, flight sim, IT stuff, but for the first time, we're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, which, well, it's sort of mainstream. It's something that people have been doing for 2 years now. It's not anything new, so it's not like I'm even trying to milk any extra numbers like view count and stuff, because it's not even, on top anymore. But I feel like, it's the kind of game that you can not just play and not talk about it. I realized something after playing it for a second time, because I had played it before in 2018 on Xbox, which, well, despite the low resolution and the not so impressive graphics and also the low frame rate, I did enjoy it. It was quite a nice experience. I lived the game basically for a week. I was playing it like 10 hours a day. It was insane. I gotta say, one of the best experiences I've ever had, and I only realized that now, playing it for a second time. When I finally could, I finally could appreciate it more, in a sense that I was trying to avoid spoilers at first, because the game had just come out, and, people often, the whole... If you play the game, you know what I mean. So I was trying to stop. Getting spoiled. So I rushed through the whole story, because you cannot sort of. It happens. It's not something you can run away from. Eventually, someone's gonna comment something. Bingo! There you go. The game's spoiled, and it takes just a phrase to ruin the game for you. So I rushed the story mode. I mean, I enjoyed it, but the game is meant to be played fairly slowly, because you gotta, enjoy the environment. You gotta enjoy the whole world that Rockstar made, rather than just going for the missions one after another and playing it for hours and hours and hours and hours. And when you realize you're done with the story and there's just the side missions, and once you get those over with, there you go, the game is just basically done. Mainly on console, because like you ain't got mods and stuff, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get it on PC. Also, of course, the extra graphical quality and the better frames and everything else, but mainly because of the mods, because it adds up a lot more in terms of lifespan. But yeah, so I felt like making a video on whether one should buy it on PC again if you had played it before, and I would say so. I mean, it's the same game, of course. It's not like it changes. It's not there's any major differences, but visually it's a whole other league. Mainly if you played on stock PS4, stock Xbox One, not the X, not the PS4 Pro, which, it's night and day. It's actually night and day. I mean, I played it at 900p on Xbox, and when I played on PC at Quad HD, 4K sometimes, when I fancied like getting higher temperatures, I did play a little bit of 4K, and holy cow, it's amazing. It looks like pretty close to the real thing. It's nuts. And the fact that Rockstar achieved that, it's insane. It's such a credible world. It lives. There's always something going on. The NPCs are very convincing, very real. You even, I mean, if you're going for a high honor play, you don't even want to do bad stuff to them, because they are so convincing, so real, and they have their own work routines and stuff. It's crazy shit. The fact that they've achieved that much, it's insane. I mean, it's I would say it's the benchmark now for open world games. People are always going to compare it to Red Dead Redemption in terms of what it can do with the world, the interaction, also the world size, and what it can do and what it cannot do with NPCs, interactions and stuff, and the fact that the guns wear down and all this stuff, you know. I mean, this video is not meant to be a review, as mentioned before. It's more of whether, oh, should I get it on PC after playing it on Xbox? And yes, you should. You should definitely go for it. I mean, it's the same story. You're gonna, you know, probably enjoy the second playthrough as much as you enjoyed the first one because of the extra visual quality and also the fact that it's a nice story. Let's just say that. I mean, back when I was debating whether or not to get it, I was a little bit worried about whether I would enjoy it or not because I knew what was gonna happen. I knew the story. I knew the game. So I wondered, would I actually enjoy it again? Would I have the same experience? Would I have, would the story impact me the same way it did before? And yes, in my case it did, and I don't regret spending 60 bucks on that. No, not at all. It was a very, very solid investment. Kept me distracted, and it was a lot of fun. My second playthrough was a lot more slowed down, a lot more, you know, I focused a lot more on getting the most of the world and, you know, doing all the side missions and getting to explore a lot more before the epilogue. And I think that was, you know, that was a nice second take, and the fact that it looks so much better on PC with different draw distance, like the LOD is insane. It's actually nuts. It's seamless, because you could see on console where, you know, the border sort of where it would stop, where it would start throttling the quality, you know, like, I don't know, like 250, 300 meters, something like that, where the grass would start degrading in quality. But on PC now, it doesn't end, you know, it's seamless. There's no transition whatsoever between high and low LOD. It's insane. And you know, even though people say it has shit optimization and stuff, I don't agree. I mean, partially actually, because, you know, there's not a lot of difference between medium, high, ultra, frame wise, not saying like visually, because of course it's a huge gap, but when you compare performance, raw performance, it's not really that much different. So I went from like 4K ultra, 27, 29, 30 FPS average. You know, my card's not a 4K card, so impressive enough, I would say. 4K high would be like 30s, 31, sometimes all the way up to like 40s at some point, cutscenes mostly, and then it would drop to 25 at night with a lot of lights and fire and stuff and people burning. But it would sit around the margin of 30 frames, like 3 more, give or take. Medium would be like, you know, the Xbox One X preset, actually 4K preset, would be around like 36 to 40 frames. It's not much of a difference considering the visual gap, because there's a massive visual gap. It's noticeable. So if you can settle for like, you know, Quad HD Ultra, it's fair enough. It runs perfectly, always above like 40 frames with my 2070, which, well, for me it's good enough. I don't really care about 60 frames in a game that's quite slow and animations are slow. It's a slow-paced game. It's real. I mean, it's not like in real life where, you know, ninja fast and switch guns, ninja fast and reload, ninja fast. That's not how real life works. So I would say, despite being slow, I don't see that as a bad thing, as real life is mainly like that, you know. It's slow paced. People don't just, you know, get into cover like a ninja and then reload guns and change guns, like switch between them in like a matter of seconds. That's not how it works. So the game does that very nicely. It can be annoying, of course it can over time. you know, mainly when there's a bunch of enemies trying to kill you, and then, you know, but then again, that's basically how real life is. I mean, if it's just you against like 6 guys, you're gonna die. There's no other way around it. And in Red Dead Redemption, you could go for the, you know, that eye and get them all. So, I mean, I do understand the complaints, but it's from a more like realistic standpoint, they got it spot on. And the fact that you have to eat and sleep and stuff, it's not mandatory, but it helps with the cores and stuff. It's nice, you know. It teleports you into a different world. You live the story. You live through the main character's eyes, and there's also the moral decisions that I gotta do, which have some weight. So you know, you gotta think it through very carefully, and it's a fantastic experience that you only got to live once or twice if you replay it. But it's a very nice approach to the Western subject, you know. It's a very nice non-spaghetti Western. Rockstar nailed it. The story is awesome. The graphics are out of this world. It's insane. So whether you should get it or not, yes, you probably should. Mainly because quarantine and stuff, we're all bored, and there's nothing better to spend time on than Red Dead Redemption, you know, because it sucks you in, and you cannot stop until you finish the whole thing. So, yeah, I mean, just go for it. It's by far the most beautiful game of this current gen. Brought like top-notch closure to the PS4, Xbox One, Xbox One X generation, and it makes you wonder about what's coming next with, you know, RDR3 eventually for next consoles, PS5 and stuff. How amazing is it gonna be? One can wonder. I've been wondering about that a lot recently. But yeah, it's, I think that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's not much of a review as mentioned before. More like just a talk on whether you should get it or not on PC, and I do think so. I mean, it's just impressive. You just get there at the clouds and you know, the draw distance, the amazing landscapes, grass, everything about it's just great. It's just, it's art. It's art. Art you can play, and art that you can enjoy for over 60-70 hours straight. No problem. So yeah, that's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave feedback if you wish. Comment sections down below. Leave a like or not. Up to you. And subscribe if you wish as well. So, take care. Have a good day, night, whatever. And stay safe.